What's up everyone, I'm Echo Boy and this is Burst. I've always wanted one quick plugin I could drop on a track and instantly get better grooves, tighter rhythm, more movement, more attitude without building a whole chain every time. And honestly, I never found exactly that. So, I made my own. Burst is a creative groove tool built around controlled randomness. It adds those small musical variations that make a loop feel alive, but still very predictable, repeatable, and locked in. Think of it like giving your sound a bit of modular style chance without the chaos. In this video I'll show you what Burst actually does, how I use it on drums, bass and loops, and a few practical settings you can copy right away. So let's dig in. So I've said in my introduction, I'm so stoked about this plugin, and I always wanted to do something in terms of developing something that would be helpful for you guys, for your production, for your workflow in terms of creative, generative synthesis, in terms of rhythmic elements and music. So, Burst, what else? I'm very excited. This is Burst. Alright, I hope you like the UI. It's very straightforward and I'll get right into it and how this is working. So first of all, the way I propose that you work with it is to create an audio channel. Rename it to Burst. Alright? And then Burst works with triggers. So all you have to do is just drop in a loud trigger. This could be a kick, it could be a clap. Alright, so the engine reads the trigger and then the plugin works. So what I've done here is that I've created my audio channel in which I loaded Burst, right? Then in the same channel, I just copied a portion, just a one shot from my kick above, and I just pasted on that same channel. So when I play, this is a track, alright? I got Burst here. I don't have to hear the element that I loaded, that kick, that shot, so I just mute the channel, alright? And then below of this channel of Burst, I have a MIDI instrument. This could be a drum rack, this could be anything that you can imagine, one-shots, samplers, whatever. Right now, just for the sake of the example, I've got loaded a kit, a stock kit from Live. These got multiple sounds here, alright? Got kicks, snares, whatever, claps, hi-hats. This is how Burst works. So when I press play and I enable Burst, this is a hi-hat, which is pointed from the notes. I can tell to Burst which note of this sampler to play. So this hi-hat closed is assigned to G1. Alright? Let's hear it. This is just one, this is bursting, MIDI notes at the moment. And it's playing 16 steps, which are designated by the steps count here that I got on my Euclid, on my Euclidean sequencer. So the way it's the signal flows, it's you go from trigger to the Euclidean sequencer, all right? You set up your MIDIs and then you got some probability, which I'm gonna explain in a bit. You can shape your sound with an SNH, with a sample and hold knob here, which has also several mode sources like noise, LFO, and LFO triangle, sine and triangle, and you can shape your sound with these knobs here, start, end, and your velocity curve, but also you can shape your modes to sound more dynamic and controlled random with those in this drop down here that you got fixed, decay, rise, and random. And I'll get all of these in a minute so you can totally understand what this thing is doing, and it's so cool. I have my trigger, which is this kick, and it's triggering the whole plugin. like this. Let's make a loop, and I'll tell you right away what's going on. So 16 steps, and there it goes out because there's no trigger. If I copy another shot, then it will start again. All right, doesn't have any triggers. You can always re-trigger depending on how many shots you want to put in, your grid. And here it loops again because it got a trigger, and because it's 16 steps. So I'm gonna make a loop here, all right, and show you what's going on. So here you got your threshold, and it's tempo synced, and I'll get to it in a minute. What this tempo sync is so serious. All right. Right now you see that the intervals are locked because I am tempo synced. If I uncheck it, you see that the interval knob goes live. So when you uncheck the tempo sync, the interval is running freely, and it's better to hear what it's doing. All right. This is so cool. And if we re-trigger, let's do it. And you can automate this, of course. Okay. And this is dependable with the pulses. And if you find something that you like, then you tempo sync it. Let's bring down the steps. That glitch that you're hearing is because the threshold is too low. And if we raise it, then we get to the normal sound. And this is the Euclidean sequencer, in which you can change the sort of how it plays. Change the pulses. Cool. Lower your divisions. You can always put it 32. Give more pulses. So you get the idea, right? You can do all sorts of rhythmic grooves, and of course you can change your sounds. Let's see how it sounds here on the clap. When I'm changing the notes, you'll see the little squares. So you can instantly assign it to whatever sound you want. Let's change the probability to just burst. And change also the velocity mode to random. So plays more live. let's introduce some weirdness with the sample and hold knob and destruct it. The sample and hold works like every time it gets a trigger, it resets. Here you got a bongo player playing dynamically with a random mode in your velocity. Change the pattern. The velocity curve, how hard it slams. Let's glitch it. We want to give some swing, then a bit in the SNH shape. You see? We'll swing it. So right now we got an SH1. I got the same burst trigger channel, and I got my MIDI channel here, the SH1. I pointed to burst, and if I play, planning within the next update to have some sort of a sequence, a musical sequence, which is going to be triggered from the sample and hold. So every time you get a burst, it will generate sequences. So you get this, not just one note, but a sequence of notes. For now, though, it's just one note, which is cool, you know. And of course, if you uncheck the tempo, madness. Madness. So you get the idea. That was it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the small presentation of burst. I just scratched the tip of the iceberg and what it can do, but you saw that mainly it's focused on the rhythmic generation, the controlled randomness, as I like to call it. But you can also switch it and do some sort of musical stuff. Down the road, I am planning to add some sort of a sequence so you can take the advantage of its engine and create musical stuff. But also, I'm planning to implement a new knob delay echo function, which is going to modulate the S and H knob and create, bursting delays, just controlled random delays. And it's so much fun. I'm very, very excited. I hope you enjoyed it. Soon it's gonna be on my shop. 1.2 is ready and it's working and it's stable. So yeah, basically, if you're interested, just send me a message either on YouTube or on my Instagram channel. And until next time, don't forget to subscribe and like. See you next time. Bye.